Hello, this is Steve Gauck, agronomist with Beck's Hybrids in Southern Indiana. And throughout the season, we've been getting a lot of phone calls about situations where corn has gone down in certain fields and in certain areas. Early on, a lot of that was caused by saturated soils with some heavy winds that ended up pushing the corn over right at the root system. But here lately, a lot more calls have come from corn breaking off right at ground level, maybe a foot off the ground, and stalks being very weak, maybe even hollow. So we start kind of digging in and figure out what's going on. And we start down at the root. So here we've split open a plant, and you can see this is called the crown of the root, right down here, this little triangle area. And in a healthy plant, that should be white, it should be solid, look very healthy. Here you can see it's brown and discolored. So this is a sign of crown rot. Now, crown rot is caused by fusarium. And fusarium levels have been very high this year. Early in the spring, we saw some fusarium wilt in soybeans. So we knew that the weather conditions were right for fusarium. Now this plant was infected early in the season due to wet soils. And as we continue to have wet soils throughout the year, it helped the disease progress. And as this disease progresses, it closes off this bottom part of the plant. So it shuts off the ability for this plant to take nutrients on up the stalk to the ear. So the roots then aren't doing anything, they get a little bit weak, they start to die off, and then you'll see the stalk start to cannibalize. So that plant's trying to finish that ear, doing whatever it can, so it starts to take the nutrients out of the stalk and cannibalize it. Other signs here, the fusarium, you see a dark colored node here on the stalk. You see kind of this teardrop here. That's an outward sign of some fusarium stalk rot. So again, the fusarium infected early, had a lot of time to grow throughout the growing season in that plant, affect it, cut off its ability to take up nutrients, therefore started to weaken that stalk. Now, some of the things we see obviously are stalk lodging from that. You may see some lower test weight in corn, even if it's standing, if we've had some fusarium in it. We put some seed treatments, obviously with Escalate on the corn. Escalate is very good against early season infections, but as time progresses, the Escalate or seed treatments run out, and the plant is then susceptible to those diseases if the weather conditions are right, like we had this summer, the cool wet. So there's no real known hybrid tolerance to it or resistance to it. Some hybrids probably are handling it better than others. Hybrids that get anthracnose sometimes can have more crown rot too. So crown rot has become the culprit here at the end of the season with this stalk standability. So crown rot caused by fusarium. If you cut open the plant, you'll see this is dead, it's weak. The stalks have cannibalized. So obviously, some rotation helps that. It can overwinter, so we'll continue to look at seed treatments and things to help with it in the future. But if you're having some standability issues, take some time, cut open some plants, look for crown rot, and if you have questions, please feel free to give me a call or talk to your dealer or seed advisor. Thanks, and have a great day.